So how many steps do you need per day? Do you need 10,000 steps? Do you need 8,000 steps? Do you need 15,000 steps? What is the amount of steps you actually need? Let's talk about it. I'm somebody who's walked over 2 years straight without missing of at least 10,000 steps or more per day. I've completely transformed my life and my body. It's been unbelievable, the confidence that I've gotten, and I put a lot of it because of my steps. Even though a lot of the weight loss isn't directly with steps, what the steps have done for me is it's created this foundation that I can get a win every single day and I can stack it, and that builds my confidence. It also builds my confidence to look to the next level and the other things that I need to be doing in the mix of this whole weight loss game and maintenance game to continue to improve, whether it's doing some more movement, walking, doing lymphatic drainage exercises, stretching, working on my sleep, my food, my gratitude, lowering the stress. All of those things come into play. But when it comes to walking, there's kind of a mix of this. For a long time, there was that notorious 10,000 steps per day, which a lot of it is probably just a marketing gimmick. However, that does not mean it's not effective. You might be able to get, I think the average in America is under 6,000 steps and maybe 4,000 steps for the average. And that's obviously, well, it depends on what you consider obvious, but I would say that's pretty low. So I personally like to hit 10,000 steps. It could be 8, but I do 10. I end up averaging about 14,000 steps per day because I do a lot of my steps in the morning to get it done, because it's more than just walking. I want to get a quick win that's going to help build my confidence and continue pushing me to the next thing, whether I need to make an adjustment or a pivot in a certain area. I do it with a win under my belt every single day, which is crossing the 10,000 steps every day. No excuses. It's going to get done. I'm going to the top with this. I don't want to miss. It's a big deal to me because it builds my confidence and I want to excel at something. Now, I would make that as a marker. Me personally, my own personal opinions on it from my own experience. You could have other people, different experts, doctors, nutritionists, trainers. They can tell you, no, you don't have to do 10,000 steps. 8's fine. It doesn't really matter. The point is what is your goal? What are you trying to achieve from this? See, for me, I just want to have something that I'm consistent with. It's effective with my weight loss. It's effective to ward off the fat coming back. I want to make sure that I'm on point as much as I can. But I also want to have something that I can win at every day. And I can't underestimate that enough and tell how important that is to make sure you're just winning. If 8,000 steps a day is you winning, fantastic, great. Keep doing that. If 10,000 steps is considered you winning, fantastic. Keep doing that. Push yourself a little bit, challenge yourself a little bit. If you haven't started walking at all, I challenge you to start with my free 7-day walking challenge. You can find it in the first link in the description. I want to help you get these small wins and let that carry you into the future, because then you can graduate and go to the next thing. You can start going towards 30 days, and then you can go to 60 days and then 90 days. And sooner or later, if you keep it up, you may get to 1 year or 2 years like I've done. And then you realize, looking back, you're like, man, every single time I did this and I won and I was consistent, it actually built my confidence. So I think it depends on what you're going for. I think the answer is not so clear cut and it's a little bit irrelevant. The point is, get movement, work on your flexibility. I think everyone's body is different. Everyone has different things they respond to, and you have to figure out what works best for you. For me, I've just settled on the fact that at least 10,000 steps for me is good for the day. Now, I'm really liberal about it. So yes, I get them done mostly with the heat early, but I'm okay with, if it's on me, it's counting the steps. Like, I don't have to actively go out and walk and those are the only ones I'm going to count. No. If I cross it, that's it. If I cross 10,001 step, I did it. I don't care as long as it's by midnight. But I usually get it all done before 8 in the morning anyway, so it doesn't matter. But I would just say you need to do what works best for you. And if you're starting, you don't necessarily have to start with 10,000 if you don't want to. Let's say you need to ease into it. You haven't worked out in a long time, or you haven't walked in a long time. The most important thing, and why the 7-day challenge is so important, is because I want you to start getting into the habits. This is something that you do to become a habit. And if you can keep that habit going, it's going to fuel other areas of your life and make them easier, because you got a win, you got more confidence, you're seeing results, and it motivates you to keep going. You know, when you get one day done of 10,000 steps, it's easier to now do 2 days because you already did one day. So it just continues to accumulate and stack wins to increase your confidence. And I think when it comes to feeling good and confident in your own body, in your own skin, in how you look in clothes, is unbelievably important. It's incredibly important. Now, I'm not saying that steps is the only thing that you need. I don't think that. The way I look at it, as I think nutrition is more important than steps, just to be candid with you. But I also believe it's a lot more complicated, and it's a lot more work to kind of figure out and to find what's on point, because you're dealing with other things. Whereas the steps, I like to look at it as the pillar for me personally in my goals, in my plan to not only keep the weight off, but do it in perpetuity, because I understand what I did to crack the weight loss code for myself, because I've lost 30 pounds at least 4 times, and I've lost over 50 twice. So I know what it's like to lose weight. I know what it's like to struggle to keep it off. And so my goal is to be able to just do that for the long term. I'm not trying to get into a competition. I don't really care. Yeah, I care about aesthetics a little bit, because I want to be healthy and I want to feel good inside my own skin. But as far as, perfection, no. It's not about being perfect. You have to do what works for you in the long term. So whether it's 8,000 steps, 10,000, 12,000, 20,000, the whole point to drive this home is you just got to know yourself. You got to know, where are you starting from? What experience do you have? How much do you want this? Are you willing to put in the time? Because there's also a time investment that a lot of people don't want to talk about, but that's the reality of it. It takes time to get certain goals that you want, as well as it takes effort and huge sacrifices sometimes. So whether you start with 8, 10, 12, it doesn't really matter. My point is I want to get you on the track. Click the first link in the description, grab the 7-day walking challenge, and we'll see you there.